Hello, Libra, and welcome to Fifi and Gigi's Tarot Readings. Thank you so much, Libra, for joining me. Let's get started. Let's get down to business quickly. We're looking at the challenges and blocks with your person. So, the good thing about tarot, the tarot is looking at the big energies, looking at the advice, what you don't see coming, the actual block. But most of all, anything that we see also in the outcome, Libra, you can change it. Remember, it's the heads up. So you can change the energy of the tarot because it's actually telling you what is most likely to happen, the probability. So take what resonates with you, Libra. And remember, anything that does come out, we also be looking at advice or ideas, what you can do to help the situation. So let's get started. Blocks and challenges with your person. I will be using the Halloween tarot, very appropriate for the month of October. We are going towards the beautiful festive season of Halloween. Libra, blocks and challenges regarding their person. What does Libra need to know, please? Anything at all, spiritually, mentally, the big energies. Behind the deck, we do have the Knight of Pumpkins, also known as the Knight of Pentacles. So, what do we know about knights? It's all about offers and changes. This is the slowest moving knight here. Someone that's taking their time to approach you regarding commitment or regarding marriage here that leads to absolute happiness with the sun. This is a beautiful combination here. So we do have the sun, which is such a beautiful, wonderful healing card here. So there is something wonderful to look forward to. Things are actually going really well. It's a bit slow, but it's moving forward. Excellent. If we split the deck, what do we have? The moon. So the moon is, of course, Pisces and Cancer energy. There is a bit of worries regarding the future, something long term. What's behind? Wheel of Fortune also. I feel like there's something that you really, really want for the future. And yeah, oh, also the Six of Bats. Don't worry. You're going to get past these fears. You're going to move on with it because you've got the Six of Bats. You're turning your back on that. And you also have the King of Bats. That's actually you, Libra. Again, you're looking at the logic of the situation. You're not letting your imagination take control of the situation, which is excellent. The dominating card on top, we have the 10 of Pumpkins. Excellent. That is a card of security, abundance, healing, having each other's back here, creating security between you and your person. Excellent. Okay. So, Libra, let's look at you. What do we have? Page of Bats. All right. I almost feel like, are you going to deliver some news to your person? You know, it's almost like I feel like you need to speak your truth. There's something that you need to get off your chest that you need to talk to your person about. And this can show you've been delaying it, you've been holding back, whatever it is that you really want to tell your person, and you've just been holding back, maybe trying to find the right moment, the right time, the right place to tell your person something here. These are all about small messages. Sometimes they can be challenging, sometimes, not always, but it's the kind of curiosity. You want to step out into the unknown. You want to step to the next phase of your life. Let's look at your person. What do we have? Mm, 2 pages. I feel like both of you are either very young in age or very young at heart. And with the Page of Pumpkins, that's also known as the student card. Perhaps both of you are in school together. But the Page of Pumpkins, even though there are messages, it can also lead to in person meetings, other things, or the next phase of the relationship. I do love the page of pumpkins because we're seeing someone here that has a thirst, a quench to learn, to adapt, to try new things here, which is absolutely amazing. I feel there is a more confident energy with your person, Libra, while perhaps you hold back in the sense you kind of like wait for the right moment to say something. So what is the challenge? What do we have? Mm. So, not my favorite card. The Seven of Bats. No, not my favorite. I don't like the Seven of Bats. You probably have heard me say that throughout my videos. Why? Because the Seven of Bats is a card of lying, stealing, cheating, copying. You know, you need to ask yourself, is your person being absolutely truthful, you know, with you? Are they being absolutely truthful? Do they, do you feel sometimes with your person there's a bit of sus energy, or there are certain red flags that sometimes we may ignore? So this is why I can understand why now you have the Page of Bats. It's like you don't want to. No one likes rocking the boat. Nobody likes talking about the challenges in the relationships. Sometimes we do need to bring it up. We need to talk about it. It's almost like you're giving your person challenging news and they need to learn from it. Like I said, remember, that's the student card. They need to learn still. There could be inexperience on your person's part regarding relationships. Let's see. What is it that we don't see coming? Excellent. We have the Four of Imps. This is actually one of my favorite cards. This is the card of invitations. So there will be invitations coming your way, Libra. Celebrations. You may hear of someone getting married. You may hear someone getting engaged. So there are parties, news that are coming up. It could be from your circle of friends, Libra. You may hear someone, oh my God, such and such is engaged now or getting married. So keep an eye out for that, because this is kind of like telling you already if you're on the right path too. What's the advice for Libra? Something personal just for you, Libra. What's the advice? So we do have the Tower. The Tower is advising you, Libra. There may be a shock, there may be a surprise that because it is upright, you kind of know. You know already. You see it coming. And yes, the Tower, ruled by Scorpio energy, it's a destructive card. It's telling us that there is something here that's not working. So you have a choice. Here comes the advice. You either walk away from the Tower or you rebuild the Tower. The Tower is linked to this card, Seven of Bats. There's something sus about your person. They're doing something behind your back here. And it's going to get worse and worse with the Tower, because it's like you're being shocked. Something comes completely out of left field and you're like, whoa, did that just happen? What the hell? So remember the advice with the Tower. If already, even right now, there is something that's not working, address it. You need to address it. Either we walk away or we try to rebuild the Tower, because the Tower, the structure of the Tower is still standing. Yeah, this piece is falling off. There is still structure here. The Hermit. So Libra, the cards are kind of like telling you, before you take action, before you're ready to make your next move, do yourself a favor and contemplate first. Retreat. Just think about this connection. What what has it given you? What was the feedback? Because there is no failure, there's feedback. So overall, if you had to look at your relationship with your person, just think about for a moment, what have been the challenges, the positives? What has been the lessons here? Because remember, the hermit sees all. The hermit is very, very similar to Gemini energy. The hermit is always 2 steps forward ahead of everyone. Why? Because they have wisdom and experience. They see when people are trying to either manipulate or just talk absolute shit. So contemplate think things through. Don't look at the situation inside, look outside, disassociate yourself and look at it from a different perspective with no emotions and look at it subjectively. Let's look at this. And this is telling you that you're going to pick up certain things about your person, about the relationship that you need to address. So we're not going to end the reading just like that, Libra. No. Seven of Bats. Let's clarify. Tell me more about the Seven of Bats, please. Tell me more. Okay, what do we have? Yeah. So we have the Fool. Now the Fool clarified also with the Seven of Bats can show the fool, an actual fool that has acted not in accordance. Someone that has acted without thinking about the consequences first. They do things blindly, impulsively, without thinking about their actions or how they can impact you, of course, Libra, and this relationship. So this is the block. Actions. Your person's actions is the problem here. Tell me about the tower. I'd like to know more about the tower, please. hmm Eight of bats. Eight of bats. So, more advice here. The eight of bats can show sometimes the energy where we can also pull back from our person. Perhaps you find out something, because again, remember the tower, something comes to light, something grabs our attention. And this could also mean you, Libra, you pull back because you don't want to talk to your person. You feel trapped. You feel imprisoned by this situation. You don't feel like yourself. So sometimes even with the Eight of Bats, notice that this person is wrapped in bandages and there are bats surrounding her head. So her mental energy. Stop for a moment and just think things through logically. Look at the logical side of the situation here. Because the last thing I want is someone to try and just throw the ball at your court and blame you for something that has nothing to do with you. Because I almost feel like this person is throwing you a tower moment, also blaming you for it. They're not taking accountability, they're not taking responsibility. So don't allow that, Libra. Don't allow that at all. I do feel though that your person may surprise you, kind of like let you down a little bit. So you may just pull back and give them the silent treatment and not talk to them. If you feel that you need to do that, yes, do that. So you can clear your head. Let time pass until you feel that, okay, now I can address the issue. Now I can face the tower right now. The hermit, again, the hermit is telling you, the hermit always retreats. Remember, as I said with the Eight of Bats, we're pulling back, perhaps even giving that person the silent treatment. The hermit is also very, very similar, with the difference that the hermit is more contemplation, self-reflection. They're thinking things through, even being on your own. Let's get another card for the hermit. What else do we need to know, please, regarding the hermit? Yeah, Four of Pumpkins. So this is the Four of Pentacles. Again, with look what's behind it. Also have the Three of Bats too. So I almost feel like, yeah, there will be some heartbreak. So I feel that even with you, Libra, you just want to retreat. You want to be on your own because you want to plan your next move. That's what the Four of Pentacles does, or the Four of Pumpkins. The person is either afraid of losing something or afraid of what could happen. So I feel like this is the really, really big thing regarding this reading that you need to do is retreat, think things through for a moment. Not so much with emotions, but more with logic here. I feel like you're not going to be telling your person your next move, your next intentions. If anything, because trust has been compromised, you're just keeping your own thoughts and intentions to yourself. You're not revealing anything. Yeah, temperance. Yeah, take time off with temperance. Be patient with yourself. I'm not saying here that there's going to be an absolute break here, but I feel what's going to happen that the energy is going to shift where you, Libra, you need to start taking care of yourself first, putting yourself first. And with the Temperance card is putting a lot of love and devotion for yourself and also being patient with yourself. The Temperance card can also mean if we are going to rebuild the tower, so in other words, rebuild the love connection here, it will require a lot of patience here from each other to earn trust again, to rebuild that trust and friendship again. But most of all, Libra, take time to reflect, look at the lessons, look at the situation. What's the reality? What is it that needs to be addressed? Because remember, you started off with the page of bats. That's when you give someone, you voice your truth. You give someone, in other words, you speak your truth and you don't hold back. They're going to be learning something about you, Libra, because it's like you already see that there is something going on and you don't like it, not at all. And they may, what is it that you don't see? They may be going to parties, they may be meeting up with other people that you may know or may not like. So there's something going on behind closed door regarding socialization. And this is where we're feeling really cracked. We're feeling, oh my God, there's definitely a foundation here that's not working. And sometimes we don't want to face it. Sometimes we know it's there, but we're probably too afraid to face it because we may feel like it's inevitable, everything's falling apart. We have to face it. We need to use contemplation here. We need to understand this even more, even if we have to retreat. And temperance, having that love and devotion towards ourselves, means not blaming yourself for everything. No, don't lose sight of yourself. Always have love for yourself. That's so, so important. Thank you so much, Libra, for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic week and most of all, power to you. I'll see you next time.